What's up guys, Anthony here, and we are today for another video. Today we will talk about a computer a little special because it's a laptop but without its screen. We will see that. So I'm sorry if I make some mistake, I'm a little sick. So if I make mistake in English or something like this, I'm really sorry. So to talk about this laptop. This laptop became of one of my friends, and they broke the screen. They broke the screen, but the computer's still running great. At stock it has 1 gig of RAMs and 160 GB of hard disk drive. It came with an Intel Atom. Well, it not came with an Intel Atom. It was pre-installed with Windows XP and it runs with an Intel Atom. Right? I never understand why this kind of ebooks runs Windows, because they are so powerless that would be better to run a Linux on it. Maybe it's for lots of people to stay on Windows because they know Windows and they don't want to try especially Linux. For people who they want to know, it's an, I don't know if you can see something, maybe yes, maybe not. We'll try something. Yeah, that's better. It's an Asus EPC 1005 HA. When you give it to me, there is no hard disk drive and 1 gig of RAMs, but I've already upgraded it to 2 gigs of RAMs. That's normally the maximum for ebook. So without the screen, how to use it? It will turn it on. Whatever, there is a battery, I've got my charger here and I can put it on the right side. But how can you use it? It's simple. This kind of machines have a video output somewhere. In this case it's a VGA. It could be an HDMI. So if you have an external monitor, you can just connect to it and you will see something on the screen. It will be a good way to recycle your computer if you want. So we'll turn it on, here we go. You see the LED, the blue LED, the nice blue LED. We'll turn it on the screen, it's better. So the computer is boot up. As I said, there is no hard disk drive, so you don't want to boot up. That's perfectly normal. We will see what we will make with this computer. We'll make a reboot. Just first I go to the BIOS to show you. So it's an Intel Atom CPU N270 at 1.6 GHz, so it's not a fast CPU at all, and it's even a 32-bit processor, so you only can run a 32-bit operating system. The 2 gigs of RAM are installed, data are correct. You have no specially configuration available for the BIOS. Normally there is a Wi-Fi integrated on this laptop. Sure, it's from 2009, but I remove it. It was just here. I remove it because it cannot stand on the laptop. So if it was like this, it will maybe not make any contacts, and it's not good to put a Wi-Fi kite like this. So it could only work now with the integrated network by cable. So as you see, I have my Linux USB key here. I will booting up into it and say what we can do with this kind of machines. Yeah, automatic boot, mod live. Yeah, it's a Linux Mint in my case. It's probably better to use a Debian, because on a Debian you can select on the installation without a graphic user interface. and it will take less space on the memory. But Linux Mint after that, what's happened? Okay, I've got a thermal event. Why not? Something good when I make a video in live, yeah. So I will cut and come back later. Okay, for this interruption, I've opened it. There was my thermal pad. Yeah, that's not thermal paste. That's thermal pad. Is not good enough, and it didn't make a good contact with the CPU, so it's getting altered. That's why I've got a thermal event. I must change that for when I will use it. So I'm at the desktop of Cinnamon. For the computer, it seems to have, yeah, I like my fan, it's going on again. For this laptop, it still have integrated screen. So I'm here like the second screen. Whatever, we've got always a combination of key here, Fn plus in this case F8 to select your monitor. Or to shut it off this one, to make an exact copy of the first one, or to just put the screen on the second one. So here we go here. Oh, good. So now I'm here, I think. Oh, no, that's duplication because the screen is not at the native resolution. And this case is good, yeah. So I will put my, didn't make contact, great. So I put my charger here, but the battery is still largely, oh yeah, okay. It is good enough. So a Linux Mint has the Cinnamon interface, so it didn't take so much space on the RAM. And it's largely user-friendly for a beginner of Linux. If I show you on the system monitor, sources, you can see here, no, maybe you're too far. You can see here the memory here. I've got 2 gigs. 1 gig is not especially enough even for this laptop. Here the system is completely empty with no program, no service in background. So it runs only with 387 megs of RAM used. If you install some service, when you will make some things with it, it will take more space. But Linux Mint is a good one, it doesn't take so much space and it's user friendly even for configuration for everybody. But if you like the command line with the terminal, for example, if you like to have only this without graphic user interface, that's a better thing. Use less RAM than a Linux Mint. You can make that with a Debian or over Linux with that has only a command prompt, if you like the command prompt, of course. So what can you do with this computer? I've got 2 gigs, no hard disk drive here. I need to maybe buy a new one, or I will see what I will do in here. When you install a Linux, it could be a little home server. If you have your Wi-Fi card installed, not like me, because mine is not especially in a bad state. As you see, there is not a button here, you need to press it very here on the center of the button, but I didn't have the normal touchpad button. I even missed the P key, but it works. So if you have a computer in a better state than mine and still have your Wi-Fi card installed, it could be an access point. If it's an access point, it's necessary for a big house, for example. If you have a big house, a router, imagine that's your house, 25 meters, for example. Yeah, it's a very, very big, large. You have your router here, a Wi-Fi access point, it goes until here. But here, you can have nothing. You can put a very long cable to your router, because you need to have a cable connection if you transform your laptop to an access point, and you put the laptop here. You have the access point on, oops, you have the access point of all your house, right? A good idea to recycle it. So that's the first thing. Second thing, it could be a web server. A web server, you put your website on this machine. It will be a local machine. You can, if you want, make that to be discoverable into the one, not especially into a LAN. It could be a DNS server. In case of problem, if your provider has a DNS problem, you have your own DNS server, and you can still use internet in case of problem. It's rare, but it could be happen. And for me, the most interesting things is to convert it to a file server. On this machine, it's not powerful enough to put especially a big hard disk drive, and especially if you put Linux, there are really less program for Linux than Windows. But if you transfer it to a file server with 1 terabyte, for example, you can put a lot of files on it. Movies, music, videos, photos, and even some portable games if you have. Stay legal, please. But for me, yeah, that's the most interesting thing you can make with a laptop. I can't show you how to transfer a file with this laptop because there is no hard disk drive and it's a live Linux. I will show you my example with my laptop here, with a virtual machine and FileZilla. FileZilla is a program for Windows, they exist for Linux too, to transfer files from a computer to another. I will show you a demo quickly. So to give you another example, we've got here my very nice Solaris system. Yeah, running with the FileZilla service installed in background. It's just to show how FileZilla works when you want to transfer file for a backup on a server. I don't want the new version now. You need to know your IP address. On this case it's for Solaris, but when you will use this laptop, you will put an IP address. A static one is better than a dynamic one. Yeah, because a static one will never change, so you can remember selection. So you put your IP address here, your username and your password. The port is always SFTP. If I didn't say something wrong, it's 22. The port is 22 for FTP, file transfer protocol. Here it's already made, so I will just make that. He will just ask me for my password. And you say okay. Yeah, okay. Here on this list you have the file on my computer, on my laptop. Here is for the server, so in this case Solaris, but when my laptop will be configured, it will be my laptop. If I want to transfer, for example, this Microsoft Word document on this machine, I'm on my home, or my home directory. I want to put it on the desktop. First I will show you concretely. There is no doc file here, right? There is no doc file here. We'll just make the transfer like this. You take it and you drop here. It say it was transferred, and now if you go to your virtual machines, you have your document here. So it could be great for a file server for these machines. That's maybe the best thing you can make with a laptop without its screen, because When it's done, it's done. When you have configured all the thing with the laptop, you didn't need a screen anymore, except if you have a problem, of course. But just to transfer files and taking files, you don't need a screen anymore, just a computer connected to internet. It's largely enough. A 1 terabyte is good, at this case only if you want to put a mail server, a personal mail server, a DNS server, a DHCP server. 50 gigs, it's great. You don't need much than this. But 1 terabyte is great for a file server. I do not especially recommend an SSD on this machine because it was not a fast computer at all, so that's why it's not a bad idea to recycling with a Linux on a server laptop. But after all, that's a way, here this video is a way to show you your laptop, even without a screen, is usable whatever you want to do. And you will not make that onto the bin. It's completely stupid. When a computer works, a computer works. Sure, for people, you don't thinking about using this kind of machine because you don't know. You say, oh, there is no screen, it's still not working. No. If you have the power light here just turning on. Same thing here with the battery charge. Turn it on too. And as you see here, there is something on the screen, so the computer works. It's completely stupid to put it on a bin. If you can recycle it to something intelligent, you can make it. Advantage of this, a server with a battery, even if there is a blackout, for example, the computer is still on. So it will not make a complete shutdown, paf! No, it still went. And you can just press the button here to stop it normally. Nothing will happen. So now you know how to recycle a computer if you have a problem with your screen and it's no longer in warranty or too hard to find a piece of the screen. This machine was not selling very good, so it's hard to find the screen. But maybe if I search on eBay, I will find it for a little price, but I don't have any reason to do that. So that will be a server when I will got an hard disk drive for these machines. My recommendation is not especially a Linux Mint, but a Debian without GUI. Yeah, for some people who they know of clocking, clock speed, FSB, etc. There is something interesting with this laptop. The FSB of this laptop runs at 133 MHz. With the multiplier, it could be run at its maximum speed of 1600 MHz. But there were a program even for Windows and Linux. I did not show which one, but I know it's possible to overclock your FSB to 166 MHz, and with the multiplier it will run at 2 GHz. So you'll have a faster laptop. It will be faster to transfer file to communicate with the RAM, etc. So it's not a so bad laptop here I have to convert it to a server. But that's just here a bonus for people who they want to make some manipulation. For people who just want to know if you want to install Windows and make a desktop computer with this machine, even if it's an Atom and a old computer and you see a Windows XP sticker designed for Windows XP, a Windows 7 works perfectly because normally that's not Windows XP on this machine, it's a Windows 7 starter install. And for others, a Windows 10 32-bit works too. Just if you want. You see. Yeah. You will see. It's okay. So it boots Windows perfectly normally. Just if you want to know. But it will make me a terminal event again. No, maybe not. Here it's a Windows 7, but a Windows 10 works. Just if you want to know. You have Windows 7 driver on the ASUS website and you can put the Windows 7 drivers on the Windows 10 machines. It will work. Okay, it gives me a thermal event. It doesn't matter. I will change the thermal pad when I've got time. So guys, thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment if you want. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the dislike button if you dislike it. And I hope I will see you again for another video. Goodbye everyone.